here's something really peculiar happens. Rather than taking the bishop in one move, black goes here. Now, I think probably black saw discovered check, but I got news for you. I have no evidence of that whatsoever. None. Zero evidence. So queen h4. Queen h4 was played because the logic was, well, they can't take me because of this. Is there a follow-up to this move? Maybe it's sacrificing the rook. Maybe. In this position, white can take the bishop with the rook or with the pawn. I don't blame white for taking it with the pawn because obviously that's mate. I don't know if they saw that or if they even know queens can go that far, but also the pawn is very close to promotion. But in general, you should probably play the more forcing move. And it's a check. The reason you should play the more forcing move is because you're going to get closer to checkmate. You have moves like, you know, bishop h5 in the future, or I don't know, pawn to d7, pawn to d8 in the future, getting the pawn through. But you know what? Like I said, I don't mind this move. Now black sacrifices the rook, thinking this is a big and successful attack. Now, look, the good news is there is a little bit of an attack. The bad news is you are down a rook. You're kind of down more because your pieces aren't really doing anything. Like, just because they exist doesn't mean they're actually actively working to improve the position or the situation. So it's kind of a, you know, it's good and bad. You might have a draw, like the players could repeat moves. In fact, they actually start repeating moves. And then I don't know if white would have found bishop back, but instead black plays bishop to e6. So black stops mate. The attack is roaring forward. The knight is still kind of awkwardly standing on the edge of the board. And now white covers up the king, which, okay, I will give credit for that being a decent move. And maybe this is slightly exaggerated. Queen goes to g3. And now, my friends, white woke up. Wasn't exactly zero good moves. It was close. In this position, the clutch gene kicked in. The 900 Elo player kicked in. And white channeled their inner Gotham. White's got a queen staring down at d8. White's got a rook staring down at the bishop. A rook staring down over here. There's got to be a way forward. That pawn is an anchor. And white, in this position, finds a sacrifice of the rook! Rook takes e6! An incredible shot. Very simple idea. If pawn takes, the rook slides in, the king has to take the pawn, and the rook gets the rook. And at that point, and just a little lesson for all of you, the way you win a position where you have such an advantage that white has, you can get it to an endgame. You can take as many pieces away from your opponent as possible, which is exactly what white is doing. And you have to make sure that you don't get perpetual checked. You have to make sure that queen e3 check never leads to perpetual. For instance, king h2, queen f4, king g1, queen e3. Like, that would be a draw. But after king h1, there's no more checks. And if black tries to check you, you start the checks. You yourself start the checks. This move also wins a queen. Okay? So that would be nice. And if you miss that, and instead you, let's say, trade the queens, that's fine. You just have to win this position now. You just have to get to an endgame, promote a second pawn. So rook a8, black plays knight d5. And now what I would do with white is I would activate my queen. I would play queen to f3. And that is exactly what white did. That is a great move. Simultaneously activating your queen, teaming up with the rook, and offering a trade. And obviously, this is very winnable. You take that, you take everybody, you promote 3 knights, and then you checkmate. Black gives a check, white blocks, black gives a check, no more checks. That's it. Beautiful. Finishing, clinical technique here. You know what? First time ever. I'm going to change the video description in the middle. 5 good moves. Look at that. The people who didn't make it this far in the video will never see the change of the title. They'll never know. They all clicked on some prank video or whatever y'all watch. Roblox, Minecraft, I don't know. But they're not going to see the video changed. And I got news for you. It gets even better. Black tries to create some play, which I do like. I respect that a lot. But it's too late. Queen f8 check. Always look for checks. Always look for checks. There are a few checks to lose the queen. Queen f8. And now 50, 50. Boom. Very, very nice. A lot of these videos that I upload have really stupid endings, but it's also nice if the ending is clean. If the game was goofy and they were doing some really absurd things, that's one thing. But I also would like to laugh and educate. So I hope you enjoyed it. 20 minutes spent. A lot of takeaways here.